Shout out to Marco Pedrana, Alfredo Jr., Noble Brown, AMG, Dan Reel, Hamada Akusa, Steven Josephson. Welcome back, Game with King family, to another F1 Clash video. It's going to be the opening round for the McLaren Team Series event, and a lot of players have been doing really well in the McLaren Team Series event with their Norris and their Daniel Ricciardo. So we're going to be jumping in here and see if we can get qualified for tomorrow. Before we jump on to the first race, remember to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and also leave a like on the video. Really appreciate you guys for all your support. As we already see one player here, Goldframe, doing 360. Another gold player here, doing well as well. So let's jump in and see what we can do. First track up, Hungary. So first track up, Hungary. Here we go for our first race of the event. Nice qualifying. Nice 1-3 qualifying there. Really nice. Ricciardo and Norris. I'm running on a pretty different, a brand new setup I've been testing, and qualifying looks really nice so far. So we should get a 1-2 here with this kind of qualifying. We're going to pull away for 3 laps and then come back and go to the finish from there. There we go, pulling away. Pretty decent first start. Hopefully we can get some of these qualifying tomorrow. That's when it's gonna count. You never want to judge what you do today for tomorrow, as the opening round difficulty is a bit different from the finals day difficulty. So you get like 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 all day long on the opening round, and when you get to the final round, you're not getting any of that. It's crazy. I mean, unless you have higher level parts, that is, then you're good to go. If you have like level 10 commons, or you have like level 11 commons, then you're good to go. 1-2 all day long. We're gonna go back to hards here, and then we're just gonna conserve or cut to regular driving for the remaining 5 laps. How much was it on Norris? 3-6. Yeah, let's cut to regular driving for the remaining 5 laps. 3-6, so 4-7 for Ricciardo, so we're good to go for the remaining. Rival Russell trying to come back. He's catching up real nice, but then he'll have to go to pit now. So we will leave him with that distance. Those of you with your level 7 Daniel Ricciardo, really nice as well. Should do really good in this event. A lot of players are going to be doing good in this event, definitely so. Let's take a screenshot for the thumbnail. There we go. catching up to those back markers, getting some lap in. Rival Russell is pushing. Got to keep an eye on the rival Russell there. He's catching up too close. Final lap. We're down to low fuel. Let's cut back up to regular driving. Once you see your final lap has started and you see your drivers above 1 lap of fuel, you can cut to regular driving, and that will take them to the end. So if you're in a position where your rival is pushing like this, Russell is pushing to catch up to our Ricardo here, you want to cut up to regular driving to give your driver a little bit more chance to hold him off, and then once you hit to that line, you hit that boost to hold him off to the finish. All right, that was a good race. Let's jump into the next one. Here we go for our next race on Baku. Let's see what the qualifiers are going to be like this time. Looking good. Hold in. Nice. Nice. 2-4. Nice. Great qualifiers there from our drivers. What are we going to be doing? Yeah, let's go. Now let's go softs. We're going to boost out for 2 laps and come back to pit. Since we're in the top 5, whenever you're in the top 5, you want to do a complete different strategy from the normal strategy you normally do. You want to use that clean air and get your drivers to boost out. If they can pull 1-2 right away. Oh, here we're going up against a real player as well. So if they can boost out and pull a 1-2 nice and early, then that's good news for you. Here, Danny Ricciardo dropped back to 5th. He's back up to 4th. So we're going to allow them to push for 2 laps and see if they can gain any positions, as our rival should be conserving at this time, as he's on his regular strategy. So we're going to keep that boost on them and go for 2 laps. We should be able to create some distance on the rival as well. So we just need to get these overtaking done, and we should be good. Inside, there you go, hold that inside Norris. Same inside for Daniel Ricciardo. All right, there goes Norris with a clean air. He's going to make a good amount of distance to go back to pit. We could go back to soft tires here. Soft tires here. Let's see what tires Hamilton is on. Softs as well. So we want Norris to clean to create some distance so we don't stock too much. Pit time is 3 point something seconds on this setup. It's not that high 3.5, 3.4 setup, pit time setup. There we go, late pit technique there. Clearing in, getting Daniel Ricciardo in there in P2. Norris out. Now we're going to cut down to conserve. This is where we do our conserve portion of the race. When everybody's going to be going to pit, we'll be conserving. So when they do go to pit, we just fly by them in the pits. Alright, so all these cars will be going to pit in this next lap. So we should be at a 1-2 position after pit stop here. To secure our 1-2 positions, we're going to boost Norris from there. And then we're going to boost Ricciardo from here as well. So that should be a 1-2 for us. There goes Norris in P1. And here comes Ricciardo in P2. And let's cut them back down. Cut them back down. We could keep boosting and clear some distance and go back to pit here. but no, we'll go around for another lap of conserve. Yeah, we could clear. Only Bottas, that number 5 car, we would have to worry about. But yeah, let's go around again for another lap. And then we'll come back to hard tires and boost to the finish from there. As you can see, Bottas is way behind. So let's go around again. Let's see if these guys are going to stop. Yep, they're stopping. They've pulled the trigger. Oh, it's going to be wet. Alright, so we need to go to wet tires. And then we're going to boost to the finish on those wets. I don't want to be scoring too much, but we'll take these first sets. So last races we could do away with some of them, as we don't want to score in the top. It's not the final day. This is what we want to do on the final day, not on the opening round. Right, let's go into our stop. 3, 4, 6, and we're out. 3, 4, 9, and we're out. Will Ricardo make it back out in front? Yep, he did. P2, so that's a great race. Great race. Well done, bro. And that's 1-2 for us. We could just cut them to regular driving, because we're going to be doing 3 laps on 4 lap set of tires. If we should boost, we're only going to be able to do 2.5 laps. In which we don't want to go back to pit, and we don't want to run out of tires nice and early, leading the AIs on the rival to squeeze by us at the last minute there. Yeah, we see the rival now being forced to go to pit with his Ricardo, as he did not plan to go back to pit with that Ricardo on his hard tires, but due to the weather, he had to go back to pit there. Great race from Steve, and yeah, he should still make it. Here we see one of the Mercedes going to pit. Now it's going to be cloudy. Steve pushing at Russell. That Russell is doing really well for himself, pulling some overtakes. My Russell would have been stuck behind that number 6 car, and he wouldn't get around, not at all. But Steve Russell is driving really well for him here. Let's see if Russell is going to get P3. Let's see. Yeah, he should get P3 right at the line. Oh, he's out of fuel. If he wasn't out of fuel, or low fuel, he went down to low fuel right at the line, he would have gotten P3. But there goes his Ricardo, making P9 right at the line. That's what Russell would have done. All right. Great race there. Good race, Steve. Let's jump into the next race. Here we go for our next race on Russia. Let's see what the qualifiers are going to be like here. We have been doing, in our first 2 races, top 5 qualifying. Let's see if it's going to remain. Alright, so top 10 this time, 410. Not too bad. That third race is always the bummer when it comes to GP events. The first 2 races are always good. I used to have this old strategy. What I did was to do 2 races, then take a 10-minute break and come back and do 2 more races, then take another 10-minute break and just do the events by 2s. Used to be an old strategy I used. I haven't done that for a long while, but maybe maybe you can use it if you'd like to get better matches. Let's cut down there, and let's cut Ricardo down right there. I thought he was going to go on the inside of Alonso there, but he didn't. Well, he made his way up to P8. Switch place with the rival Ricardo, really. While Norris is up to P3. Doing really well for us up there. Here we go. Come on, give Norris a little support there. Don't want him to drop back. He's a rival on softs as well. Yep, both drivers on softs for the rival. So he's gonna have to stock. I think this is a bot rival, I'm not too sure. He didn't start off with a boost at the front. Most definitely a bot rival. Let's see if he's gonna go to pit with one of his drivers here. If his Norris goes to pit here, then it's possibly a bot rival. Yep, there he goes. Definitely a bot rival. Let's push both our drivers by pit here. There goes Norris taking P1. Here comes Ricardo. Up to P5. Put in our go to pit orders. We're going back to hards to do hard tire in the middle here, which is a really amazing strategy to use on Sochi. 3-3-2 with hard tires in the middle. Really strong strategy for this track. As you can see, Norris barely making it back to pit without running out of tires, but the pit entrance is nice and clean. That's what we want. Ricardo, entrance is nice and clean, but he's slowed up too much there on his entrance. Norris back out in P3, Ricardo back out in P8. Alright, so we're now going to be boosting for 3 laps. With our 3 laps of boost, we should be able to catch back up to the rival Norris on those softs, who will be going to pit in this lap. And we should be able to close down the gap with Ricardo. If he goes back to another set of soft tires, then he's going to go back to pit in the 6, and that's when we're going to be going to pit. Let's see. Yep, he goes back to another pair of soft tires. We've closed down the gap. Now we're going to be putting pressure on him. Ricardo up to P5. Go all the way. All the way. Could have gone all the way there on Valtteri Bottas. Alright, so Bottas blocked in there. Nice block from Bottas there to swing his car. Use his car right there. He parked it on the line. There we go now, Ricardo. Good try. This is what I like to see my drivers do. I like to see them drive aggressively. Let me see that they want to overtake. They're just waiting for the right moment to do so. Don't just get stuck behind the rival and then just follow them around the track. Alright, we're going to go back to pit here. Let's see if we can pull a late pit technique on the rival Norris here. So we want to cancel our pit. Then we're going to let our driver boost, keep boosting. Norris on those soft tires is kind of pulling away, so I doubt we're going to create any distance. I doubt we're going to be able to do the late pit technique here, because he's had a good distance. Plus, he did not go to pit. That's interesting. Norris doing 3 laps now on his softs, after all the time he was doing only 2 laps. So I guess he'll be running out of tires, and we will be getting by him. Go, pit crew, go. Alright, there we go. 3:34. We should catch up to that Norris. With our Norris, Ricardo seems to be, he's going to take 3rd. Nice to see that Norris made it right back around without running out of tires. Alright, we're going to cut down to regular driving here. He went to hards. He went to hards. Definitely bot move. Cut down to regular driving. Definitely bot move there. So we're gonna take this 1-3. If we had like a boost with some fuel on Ricardo, then we would have been able to catch up. But yeah, we'll take the 46 points. I'm gonna have to do away with a lot of races in the end, because I don't want to score more than 300 points. That's where I like to get qualified at. 300 points in the opening round, or 320 the most, somewhere about there. Great race. Alright, so if you are interested to see the tune we're using to get these awesome qualifyings, I'll be showing it here. Alright, so we're nice and equal on drivers. And let's see here. Yeah, he has a level 8 slow motion in there. So that's where he's out leveling me on parts. But yeah, pretty decent setup that he has on here. And that's my setup. So the idea of this setup was to try to use at least 3 of my level 6 epics. And there we go. That's what we got in the end. And seems to be performing really nice here. We haven't suffered a breakdown and the pit time is really nice. Let's jump into the next race. Here we go for our next match on Bahrain. .30 degrees. I didn't check to see if this one was hot, but you can check at the front. Qualifying. Looking decent. 9-12. Alright, so not the best in qualifying there. We got outside of the top 10 for the first time. 31 degrees. So we're going to go hard tires with Norris, and we'll keep those softs in Ricardo, as his tire management is a bit higher than Norris's. Let's go. Go Norris. Nice start from Norris here. Pushing, pushing, pushing. He swing back out. Man, I wanted him to squeeze in there. He swinged right back out. Ricardo did well to pick up his position, or to maintain his position. Norris going wide there. Alright, he regained. Let's cut down Ricardo here. And let's go for 3 laps. 31 degrees. We want to keep an eye on that 31 degrees to see if it's going up or it's going down. Rival Norris up in P7. Not far away, just a nice little distance there. Ricardo dropping back, getting squeezed out. Now he goes wide, forcing them to squeeze again. Lose another position. Let's cut him back down. Boost him back up, cut him back down. Whenever you see your drivers start to slack off like that, you'll just want to give them a little boost. Prep them up, let them know that, yeah, we're still here. We're still here, bro. Let's flash, see if we can get by pit here. Inside. Nope. Alright, so we've picked up only 1. We're going to put in our go to pit orders for hard tires for Ricardo. Temperature is going up. And we're going to go for another lap with our Norris. Let's push Norris here. Daniel doing really good now. Making up some positions. Up to P10. As we're about to go to pit. We can't boost Daniel into pit. We have to let him conserve because he's on softs. Temperatures has gone up. We don't want to boost him and run out. We want to let him make his way into pit as I use my Norris to catch up to the rival Norris on high boost. Then I'm going to come back to soft tires for Norris and come back for another set of softs for Norris. So we're doing a 3-3-2 hard tires in the middle for Ricardo, and we're doing a 4-2-2 with Norris. Temperature is now down to 31 degrees, so it's going down. Let's see who has a faster pit time. All right, we got a faster pit time, but we got blocked in as we were in the Baku box. All right, there goes Daniel. He's gonna come back to pit in the 6. The rival went to soft tires on his Ricardo there from the 5th, starting of the 5th. So he went to pit in the 4th for hard tires with both of his drivers, for soft tires for both of his drivers. So he's basically doing a 4-2-2 as well. Let's put in our good pit orders here for Norris. We might be able to pull off a late pit technique here. Let's see if Norris get around. Yep, he does. So let's cancel that. Put in our go to pit for Ricardo. For soft tires, temperatures are dropping 29 degrees now. Let's put up that pit order. So if we don't get in front, we're gonna go for a late pit technique on him. All right, so inside. There we go. And then Ricardo is gonna go to pit here. Thought the box was gonna be empty, so I had no need for that late pit. And because we got in before the rival, as you can see, our Norris got out before him. As our pit time is faster, but it's just that they have the front box. You have to get a little bit of space to jump them with the front box when they have the front box. So this is the 4th race, I believe, and we haven't gotten a breakdown, which is really nice. As you can see, the reliability on this setup is not that high, but the car is overall balanced, hence why you didn't see any breakdowns. Inside, nice driving from Ricardo here, picking off these cars one by one. Inside, there we go, boosting back up, cutting back down so he doesn't run out of fuel. Norris making his way to the line, P2. Ricardo coming in P7. Holding firm. Temperatures drop down to 28 degrees. So a nice slow creep in temperature. It crept up by 1 and then it take its time to creep down to 28 degrees. Great race. $41 points there for us. And let's see where we are on points here, and then we'll jump into our final race. Alright, so there we are, 181 so far for race. Let's check for a race crate. No race crate. Alright, let's jump into the next race. Here we go for our final race on Singapore. Our final race of the video, not the final race of the event, but the final race of the video. As you know, we do our first five races on the opening round, and then we'll do our last 5 races on the final round. Decent qualifiers here, 3-5. The rival qualified in a 1-2 position there. Let's jump into it. Soft tires, we're going to be boosting them out 30 degrees, holding 30 degrees back to 31 degrees. So the temperatures are going to be nice and high here. So we should be able to take the jump on those hards, as we're going to be on softs with huge lot of grip, a huge grip difference when it comes to softs in high temperatures. They grip really good. Whenever it comes to high temperature tracks and you're on softs, your cars tend to grip really good. So your drivers tend to overtake and take corners really good and create good distance. The only thing is that your tires are going to run down real quick. That is all. Your tires are going to run down really quick, but you can get an advantage, so you can go to pit nice and early. As you can see, we're currently in a 2-3 position as our Norris hunts down the rival Norris, which also looks good, holding us off. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo to catch up. We're going to have to stock here, unless this Norris can get in front. Nope, he did not. So we're going to have to stock. We're going to have to stock here. Let's see if Norris can squeeze by the rival Norris. He's trying. He's zigzagging all over the place, like he wants to get around. That's what I like to see. I want to see my drivers being aggressive. Still unable to get him. Alright, let's cut Ricciardo down and go for another lap with him. He has the extra tire management, and we'll go to pit with Norris here so we don't stock. Let's go back to softs. And then we're going to cut Norris down to conserve from here. And we'll let Ricciardo continue to go for his next lap. Sometimes this is what you have to do, alternate, adapt on the spot. So you have to know the limits. Pardon me. It's best when you know the limits of your driver, so you know what your driver can do and what they can't do. Alright, we're going to go to pit now with Ricciardo. We're not going to catch that Norris on the exit with our Norris. Bit of a late pit there with Ricciardo. But the rival went back to hards. We're going to cut down Ricciardo as well. Both drivers are going to be going back to pit. Alright, we're going to go back to pit with Ricciardo in the 6, it looks like. So we need to push. Alright, we need to push Ricciardo here so he can go catch up to Norris. We're going to go back to pit with our Norris in the 5th, with both drivers in the 5th. So Ricciardo on these softs should get by Norris really quickly, leaving us to push our Norris now for the 5th lap, as we'll be going back to pit here in the 5th. And there we see Ricciardo picking off Norris, and our Norris should catch up to that Ricciardo as well, to that Norris as well, as he's on the soft compound and the rival is on hards going to the finish. Ricciardo should create some nice distance here. Let's take a screenshot for the thumbnail. There goes Norris, pulling up on the rival Norris, squeezing by. And we're going to put in our go to pit orders for softs, which will be more grip for us, leading us to pull away and catch back up to that Norris and get a 1-2 in this race. Yeah, we'll have to do away with a lot of our last 5 races. We're going to have to take 3 points for most of them. We'll probably be doing one more race after this, and then we'll take like 3 points for the remaining, so we don't place too high. And there we go. Final lap for Ricciardo. He cuts down. Norris has a little extra fuel, so we can cut Norris up to regular driving here to hold off the rival Norris, who will be boosting to finish. Here he comes on his hards. He's boosting. There he comes. Nice clean air, so he's coming. But our regular driving should hold him off to the finish for this one too. Alright, let me know down in the comments how you guys did in your event so far. Use code word finish to let me know that you made it to this portion of the video. Really appreciate you guys who watch the full videos for all your support. And our overall score. Now for our overall score. There we go. 228 after our first 5 races. We'll have to do away with a good amount of those, as I don't want to score above 300 or right there in that range. And these guys might be scoring a bit less. Alright, let's get this race great, and then we'll end the video there. Twister. We need just like 2 twister to get it to level 10. Nice, 1 Hamilton. Alright, so that's going to be it for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.